The National Defense Authorization Act, or NDAA, passed the Senate this week.
With a vote of 85 to 14.
This year's bill has faced a lot more opposition than usual from some Democrats.
The NDAA typically receives robust bipartisan support.
So what happened?
This year, it became entwined with a controversial amendment related to health care for transgender children of military personnel.
The NDAA is essential legislation that sets the budget and priorities for the Pentagon for the entire year.
The NDAA authorizes $895 billion in military spending for this year.
That's a lot of money.
It covers a wide range of expenses,
Such as?
from procuring ships and aircraft to investing in advanced technologies.
Okay.
It also includes a significant pay raise for junior enlisted troops, which has been a long-standing priority for both parties.
I've heard about that.
Additionally, the bill addresses quality of life improvements for military families, such as housing, childcare, and other benefits.
The amendment that sparked so much controversy was introduced by House Speaker Mike Johnson.
This amendment prohibits the use of federal funds to cover certain gender-affirming care for transgender children of military personnel.
Interesting.
It specifically targets treatments that could result in sterilization.
Medical professionals assert that sterilization is not a common outcome in these cases.
That's true.
What are the contrasting viewpoints on this amendment?
Republicans who support the amendment contend that it protects children from potentially irreversible medical procedures.
Okay.
Democrats who oppose the amendment argue that it is discriminatory and potentially harmful to transgender youth who already face heightened risks.
Can you elaborate on the potential impact of this amendment?
The precise number of children who might be affected by this amendment is uncertain.
Right.
However, the impact could be substantial and potentially affect thousands of families.
Okay.
In 2017, approximately 2,500 minors were receiving this type of health care through TRICARE, the military's health system.
So this amendment could have a real impact. The NDAA passed the Senate and previously passed the House, though, with less Democratic support.
Correct.
It seems likely it'll become law then.
President Biden is anticipated to sign the bill into law.
Okay.
The inclusion of this amendment in the NDAA highlights the increasing politicization of transgender issues in the United States.
This seems like a new development.
Some express concern that this amendment sets a precedent for incorporating social policy riders into future defense bills, potentially jeopardizing its traditionally bipartisan nature.
That's an important point.
Yes.
This situation raises important questions about the intersection of healthcare personal beliefs and military policy.
It certainly does.
I'm curious to hear more about this debate and its implications.
I'm happy to delve further into those aspects.
Okay, let's continue.
Great. The inclusion of this amendment in the NDAA raises concerns about the potential ramifications for military readiness and morale.
How could this amendment impact military recruitment and retention?
Restricting access to health care for the families of service members could create obstacles for recruiting and retaining qualified personnel. This is especially relevant given the current challenges faced by the military in meeting recruitment targets.
This situation also highlights a broader trend of social policy issues becoming increasingly intertwined with national security policy.
Historically, the NDAA has been largely insulated from these types of social policy debates. Its focus has traditionally been on matters directly related to national defense and military operations.
The shift towards incorporating social policy riders into the NDAA has sparked debate about the potential consequences for the legislative process.
Some argue that this trend could undermine the bipartisan nature of the NDAA, making it more difficult to reach consensus on critical national security matters.
Others contend that social policy issues are inseparable from national security considerations, and that the NDAA should reflect these broader societal concerns.
The debate over the inclusion of this amendment reflects a broader societal divide over transgender rights and the role of government in healthcare decisions.
This debate raises profound ethical questions about the balance between individual rights, parental autonomy, and the role of the state in regulating healthcare.
The long-term implications of this amendment remain to be seen. Its implementation and enforcement will likely face legal challenges and continued scrutiny from advocacy groups and medical professionals.
The outcome of these legal challenges and the response from the military community will shape the future impact of this amendment on transgender families serving in the armed forces.
This situation also prompts reflection on the broader political climate and the challenges of finding common ground on complex and emotionally charged issues.
The intersection of transgender rights and military policy represents a microcosm of the larger societal divisions and political polarization that characterize the current political landscape.
The debate surrounding this amendment underscores the need for respectful dialogue, empathy, and a commitment to evidence-based policymaking.
It is essential to recognize the humanity of all individuals involved in this complex and often contentious issue.
This situation underscores the evolving relationship between the military and society.
The military has historically been viewed as a distinct institution with its own unique culture and values.
The increasing integration of social policy considerations into military affairs raises questions about the boundaries between civilian and military spheres.
The amendment regarding health care for transgender children of military personnel is a prime example of this blurring of lines.
The debate surrounding this amendment highlights the complexities of navigating these evolving boundaries and the potential for conflict between traditional military norms and broader societal values.
This situation also has implications for the future of civil-military relations.
The politicization of military policy can erode public trust in the armed forces and undermine civilian control of the military.
It is essential to maintain a balance between addressing legitimate social concerns and preserving the apolitical nature of the military.
The outcome of this debate and its subsequent impact on military policy will have lasting consequences for both the transgender community and the armed forces as a whole.
It remains to be seen how this situation will shape the relationship between the military and the society it serves.
This debate serves as a reminder of the importance of thoughtful and informed engagement with complex policy issues.
It underscores the need for empathy, understanding, and a commitment to finding solutions that uphold the values of both individual liberty and national security.
Ultimately, the goal should be to create a military that is both effective and inclusive, reflecting the diversity of the nation it defends.
Thank you for joining us for this insightful discussion. We encourage our listeners to continue exploring these multifaceted issues and to engage in constructive dialogue about the future of our nation and its armed forces.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.